let's see who's coming in and who wants to share today. And it's really interesting because, um, yeah, there's a lot of nature beings. Pan is here as well, Mother Earth, Gaia, however, you- however you would like to refer to her, right? A lot of people, there's lots of different names, lots of different ways she's referred to. And it's just like anything, right? How we refer to universal beings is based off of energy, right? So when you think of your best friend, or when you think of your spouse or your children or your parents, you're thinking of them, but you also have an awareness of how they feel, how their energy feels in your space. And so that's really what's happening when we're in connection, right? As universal beings, we communicate on all levels. And as humans, we've been taught, oh no, it's only happening on the physical. We're only using our minds. So, we can hide how we feel. We can hide when we're nervous or when we're scared or when we're angry or frustrated. But the truth is, we can't hide any of those things because energy tells us everything we need to know. The challenge is we've forgotten how to communicate with energy. We've forgotten that it's our really the foundation, right? It's our natural state of being is communicating through energy to allow yes, we allow our senses to pick up all the information we need, but what you're allowing in the bigger picture is for you to receive the information that you need. And that's really the purpose of communication, if you will, universal communication, because the only reason there's communication is so information can be shared. Like, think about that for a minute, right? And it's really cool because I'm seeing a whole bunch of different conversations and just different opportunities of examples of communication like running through my head. And every single one of them is just, oh yeah, we're exchanging information and there and there and there. And ultimately, it's information that makes us more valuable to existence. Okay. But when I say valuable to existence, existence doesn't look at you as a commodity to make it better. It's understanding that existence itself is structured so that it, it as in existence, can thrive. Communication is not just so we can talk about surface issues, right? Our reaction, can you believe what happened? And to communicate what you want other people to know. That's not communication in its full form. Okay. The fullness of communication is, well, it's based in the foundation of existence. The foundation of existence is energy. So if energy is the foundation, then it's also the foundation of our communication. So what does that mean and why are they sharing it in this way? So we've got a whole bunch of angelics. So the first stream angelics, second stream angelics, first stream are the angelics who created and hold the space for matter in our existence. And second stream are the angelics who created experience and who hold the space. What does that mean, really, when I say hold the space? It means that they hold the space to allow that aspect of existence to unfold. Okay. This is really important because every being in existence holds space for one aspect of existence. So you as well are meant to hold space for one aspect of existence. Why? So it can unfold as it's meant to. Okay. And so that's that feeling that you have that's a purpose, right? It's like, you're meant to participate in something bigger than you. You're meant to contribute to the universe, the awakening of humanity, but you also understand that there are things you can't explain all the time, okay? And this is where the communication aspect and you collide. And this is a great place to be because ultimately it's in your ability to feel energy that you extract the information you need. So, for the last 50,000 years, humanity has been programmed to desire and to want information that we can't have. So we've been trained that we need to want information. Okay, this is really important. And the second half is the information we can't have. Okay, so they've created this, it's like an elite system in that sense, right? Where it's here, this is something important. Oh, but you can't have it. You can't have it unless you have this or do this or whatever it is. And so what happens is, and what happened to society as a whole, is that we came to this place of feeling unworthy, but more than that. Okay, so that unworthiness triggered us to actually forget, right? After generations. So think 50,000 years, that's a lot of generations. You can do the math. But at the end of the day, we forgot our ability to access all the information in existence. That's consciousness. A lot of people want to make consciousness into something that it's not, okay? But consciousness is ultimately, it's really simple. It's the collection of everything that has ever occurred in existence. It's pure information. It's information about existence itself, every aspect of existence, the unfolding of existence. The only thing consciousness doesn't hold is the potential of existence. Why? Because that's inside of you. It hasn't been created yet. And your energy holds potential. Okay. And so that's really what they want you to experience today. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, again, this is where you get the opportunity to feel the energy. And maybe you've been following along from the beginning of the series and you're comfortable feeling energy now. And maybe this is your first episode that you're coming into. Okay. But I'm going to encourage you to feel the energy. How do we do that? By just noticing sensations in your body as I'm talking or as you hear the words that I'm saying, okay? Because energy uses your five senses to communicate through your physical form right now, because it's impossible for energy to not be moving within you. Why? Because it's the foundation of your existence. It doesn't stop ever. Okay? It's happening all the time. You are just unable to process in your mind that it's actually your energy moving, right? So there's a lot of people who will be like, oh, I have a sore tooth, or, I don't feel well, or I feel overwhelmed, or whatever it is. Or maybe they're like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. It's understanding that all of those things are a reflection of your energy, your frequency and vibration energy, okay? Not an energy level like, oh yeah, I have a lot of fuel in the tank, right? Now, how do we access this energy after feeling like we've been cut off from it, okay? So what they're showing me is, this is really interesting. Okay, you're going to have to stretch your brain here because I've never seen any of this before in the way they're showing me. So in the current method, and not everybody uses this, okay? There's a lot of people who don't, but for most of us, we were born into this situation. So I really want you to pay attention here because this is going to start to make a lot of sense. When babies are born, okay, and the umbilical cord is forcefully clamped shut. It disconnects you from your primal energy source. It mimics an experience that is so profound, yes, but it is jarring. And what they're showing is the umbilical cord is actually, it's actually meant to retain connection with the mother for up to 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week or 2 even, if the child is born with any physical ailments. Okay? Now bear with me here for a minute. I don't know all the science behind it. I don't need to know the science behind it. I don't need to know why they all justify it, but I really am doing my best right now to get the information that we need so you can understand what they're saying. The first reason that they're explaining this is to help you begin to understand your disconnection with your energy source. Okay? Now, your energy source isn't like putting fuel in a tank that you feel like, oh, I can do all the things. That's not the energy I'm talking about. The energy that I'm talking about is life force energy. It's your ability to access and participate in existence as you were created to. And what happens is when there's a clamp, okay? Yeah, they've made a ritual out of it, right? Cutting the cord and having the partner cut the cord. I have such a strange sensation at the moment. Anyways, so when the umbilical cord is cut forcefully, okay? It's like premature in the sense that, okay, it's beautiful. There's so much happening and my body is just getting so hot from all the energy. It's actually incredible. So when a baby is inside the mother, okay, that process, yes, the body is literally being built, right? The physical body. But the energy and what's happening on your energetic side is your energy is processing, okay, being in full expression and coming into a physical body. So as the body is being built, the energy is shifting and changing into a physical representation. Now, it doesn't mean physical form like your arms and your legs and all that. It means that it is learning how to process itself through physical form. Now, when the birth process begins, because historically, and it's meant to be triggered by the baby when the baby is ready, okay? Now, the baby is ready based on the energy of the parents, typically. And so what happens is, as the baby comes down through the birth canal, it's understanding that it's not just coming into the world. It's not the way they're saying, it's not just making its debut here as a soul in this particular form, right? Because souls, we come back over and over and over again, but every time is brand new. Every time is a completely different experience. But what's really happening, it's like you're being introduced energetically to the energy of the physical side, right? So you've been inside, and it's not, the word protected is not right. There's been a buffer between you and society, the environment, right? The physical realm from being inside your mother. But the birth process, like coming down the birth canal, is significant. We're also going to talk about what happens when you don't, right? When there's situations, but it's understanding that coming down the birth canal is the process of, it's actually really cool. It's like your first awakening is how they're showing me. It's even, I'm hearing angels singing. It's like, it's your moment that you're now setting out on the journey. Okay. So originally you chose to participate, right? You chose to partake in this particular journey. You chose your parents, you chose your body, you chose all the things. And now you're actually beginning the journey actively. You're actively participating. And so active participation is different than reactive participation. Okay. So reactive participation is you don't have any say, or it's like you're not in free will yet. You're in this space of being reactive, right? So you've chosen that you're coming in, and now you've had to allow yourself, allow the process of your body developing to unfold. And because of the way creation was created, that's a reactionary state, phase for you, so that you can just simply be in the energy, right? You can watch how your body develops. You can watch how your energy perceives different experiences in your space, right? And the people, like your family, you're aware of them. They're right there. It's not like, they're far away from you just because you're inside your mother's womb. No, yes. Well, we'll go with that for now. But just because you're inside doesn't mean you're not aware. You're aware of everything. So that process, that time is about, it's decompressing is not the right word. It's like an introduction. You're allowing yourself to be introduced to all of the different energies in your space. Okay. So that when you come down the birth canal, that's the process of, it's a different level. It's like, okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to come out and do this with you. That's the energy of a soul choosing to, it's like, okay, I'm ready to be born now. Okay. So it's interesting because I don't think we'll ever look at how babies are born the same ever again in so many ways, right? Like, in understanding that babies are not, they're not reactive to the environment. They're learning how to integrate with energy. And so this is the first energy you learn to integrate with is the mother. And also, because now you're participating with her, right? You're receiving from her. You're also learning about your body and how it's going to work. But you're also learning how to process energy from other people. How do you learn that? By watching what your mother does, by feeling how she processes. You see, that's what's really happening, right? As your body is being built. That's why we're in a state of beingness. It's not an active state, it's a relaxed, open, receptive state. And now you can start to see how your understanding of energy is based on the wisdom and awareness that your mother had while she was carrying you. And when your birth was meant to unfold, so just imagine for a minute, right? If the umbilical cord is meant to remain attached for 3 to 4 days, what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, it looks like you're still attached to your mother. There's zero separation. Zero. Why? Well, because this is the energy you're most familiar with. Most familiar. And ultimately, this is the energy that so think about when in your life, when you're familiar with something, then you have the courage to go try new things. The word they keep using is uninhibited. And that's what babies are meant to experience when they first come into this world. The uninhibited ability to feel these new surroundings free of anybody else getting in the way, nobody getting between. You see, our society has taught us separation is good. We need our space. But there are certain spaces that are not appropriate. They're not meant to happen the way that we've been told, the way that we've been trained. And we're beginning to understand that it's not only our self-worth that's been attacked and been challenged, our natural state of being has been abused. And the reason they're using the word abused is because it was intentional. It was intentional to cut our connection from our own energy. And that's how they did it. That time between birth and physical, like on the outside life, that's the most important time in any human being's life. It's the time when you learn about energy, you learn how to process it, and you allow yourself to feel the energy of existence while also understanding the energy of physical representation. And typically nowadays, it's cut short significantly. We're lucky if it's an hour or two. So what the angelics, so remember the angelics, the first stream angelics created matter. And they're going to offer you the opportunity to heal the disconnection. Now, it's important when you recognize that healing needs to occur that you're not looking at yourself as broken or lost. Yes, this happened to us. It happened to everybody. It's not about who did it and how they created so many problems and so many challenges. It's about recognizing, now you see the truth. Now it can be healed. You see, that's humanity's natural state of being. As soon as you realize something's out of balance, it can be restored. Because that's what healing is. Healing is bringing anything that's out of balance back into balance. In balance with existence, in balance with your natural state of being. So the angelics are offering you the opportunity, the insight, and the wisdom to experience your energy as if it were never disconnected. So just allow yourself to relax in your body. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. They want you to feel the truth and the purity and the joy of what existence would feel like if your energy were whole. If your energy was able to fully express itself and fully be present in your physical body. Now, when your energy starts coming in, I want you to just keep breathing with it. Relax into it. Okay? Resist that urge that says, oh no, this is too much for me. It's not. And that's the point. That's what cutting the cord, that's what it caused. You to feel like your energy is too much for you. So we're just going to let it flow. Don't need it, don't want it. Just simply allow yourself to receive this awareness. It's primal awareness of your own existence. And notice how the energy starts to change the molecular structure of your cells. And as it starts to change your cells, notice how your cells begin to move differently. They begin to shift because you're actively participating in changing their frequency and vibration of your cells. Just notice. This is what it feels like to allow your cells to be full of your energy. It's like that perfect, not full to bursting and they're going to explode. It's just a recognition that there is zero lack, zero. There's a contentment and a fulfillment. And it just is. And it's allowing yourself to recognize that that feeling of lack that you've carried your whole life, now you understand. It wasn't because someone did something to you or something happened and you did something. It's understanding that society created a dynamic in the hopes that you would never be able to recognize how you truly feel and who you truly are. And it's in this moment that you realize they're not going to win because you can feel your soul. You can feel the truth of who you are. And it's allowing that awareness to flow through you. Notice there's no anger and there's no resentment. It's just pure energy. Passion for life and existence itself. You flowing freely through the cosmos, through the physical world, in your human life, and all representations of who you are in this world. And you're just letting them play. You're letting them be free of the confinement that occurred when your umbilical cord was cut. And taking a moment to just really allow that truth to come in. The truth that you've been searching for parts of you that you've known were missing all along, and that you just freed those pieces to come home to you. You allowed yourself to experience you in your natural state of being. You freed yourself. And now you get to explore life from the fullness of your own being. It is so. And as you feel this energy, okay, I know there's a lot of you that are going to be asking, how can I do this for my children? How can I do this for my children? How can I do this for my friends? You are now a different frequency of energy. You hold the intelligence of the fullness of yourself just because you listened and experienced the energy in this conversation. Because you hold that frequency, you're going to be sending it out into the world. So instead of worrying and thinking in your mind, who needs this? Who needs this? Do something different. They want you to notice who's attracted to you, who comes into your space over the next few days and over the next few weeks, even months and years. Who's saying things that they normally wouldn't say, or who's showing up that you wouldn't think would show up, because they're attracted to that energy of wholeness. And you don't have to say anything. It's about who you're going to be for them. You don't need to explain it. You just need to allow yourself to be all of who you are, because that's what the other person is craving. Exactly what you were craving before you had the fullness experience. And just by being the fullness of you, you give them a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then they'll find their moment when it's time for them to bring their fullness of self back. Don't let yourself go to the silly place of feeling like, oh my gosh, I did this to my children. Don't do that. That's how society stays the same. How we expand and grow and move beyond is by allowing ourselves to learn now. That's why they're sharing the story of creation, so we can remember who we are and we can act from that place of knowing, from that place of a higher truth that's been hidden from us. But it's certainly not so we can feel guilty and feel shame. No. But we can make different choices, ones that align with who we are and how we were created to live and exist. Because that's what this is all about. That's what universal communication is all about, is having the information you need so you can, yes, become who you're meant to be. But it's more than that. It's allowing yourself to be the full expression of who you were created to be. And it's beautiful. I thank you for being here and for listening. Let me know what you felt below in the comments. And I'll see you next time for the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm Michelle Vickers. Bye for now.